Jeff Watts, worship pastor. She is here, Hannah Johnson from the Iowa Park Church of God, and she's going to offer to the Lord for us. Thank you, Hannah.
Yeah, again, thank you again for letting me be here. Let's pray. Precious Father, I just thank you for another day. Thank you for your mercy that is new every morning. You are good. God, I ask today that you please give your guidance in this meeting. Because according to Proverbs 11:14, you say a lack of guidance causes a nation to fall, but victory is won through many advisors. Lord, let our leaders not be misguided in this meeting so that we do not lead to decisions that produce ineffective results. God, we believe that you will guide them so that the results can be seen days, months, and even years after today. We come expecting to make a mark on this area that is significant, but we can only do it with your guidance and wisdom. Direct their steps today so that they can achieve Wichita County's aims. We love you, Lord, and place you at the center of all of this. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right. Commander, you want to do the pledge for us, please?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas pledge.
Yes, sir.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Take seats, please.
Pardon me.
All right, I'm going to do something a little bit out of order. Does anyone have any public comment to be made at this time? Because we have some presentations that are going to take a while. Any public comment? All right, thank you. All right, this time I'd like to go ahead and let's recognize the employee of the month from the Public Defender's Office, Mr. Rasmussen.
So there's 5 groups that spend a lot of time dealing with our office. Our clients, as you can imagine, hundreds of them, are lawyers who have a lot to say about everything, our investigators who are out working hard today, and the staff and the other departments who are dealing with Odyssey. And at the center of it all is this woman here, Paula Robertson, and she, just for putting up with lawyers and clients and all the people, is deserving of Employee of the Month, and we're certainly honored that she is the Employee of the Month, and couldn't pick a better person. So,
Well, thank you. Congratulations. Well, and I'm glad she's got spare time to work us in to offer us her assistance. She's been able to attend some of our meetings here pretty regular, and that's great.
that's right, and we're gonna keep her coming here and watching.
We need watching. Paula, would you?
Paula, you have to say something.
Yeah.
And all of that, so.
It's been my pleasure to work for the county, and I hope to continue to work here for a long time.
And she is who is usually in the lead, you or Willie on most steps?
I think Willie always beats me. I put in some other things besides just steps, so.
Yeah.
Some days I don't get a lot of steps, but I get a lot of other stuff, so.
Yeah, that jacket she's wearing is an Ironman completion jacket. So.
She is an international triathlete, actually having competed in South Africa, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
So
Wow.
She just finishing a race like that is marking a test to something else.
Yeah, I think she's dragging me along to her side of things. So.
Paula, you gotta remember, Willie's got a head start on you.
Okay, thank you all very much. Yeah, okay. At this time, we're going to have a presentation from the Wichita County City Public Health District. And Amy, are you going to lead it off?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Although since you've moved the microphones, I'm not sure where to stand.
Just right there is good.
Okay, good. So Commissioner Beecham is on our Board of Health, which is an advisory board to the Health District, as many of you know. And I gave this presentation at our Board of Health meeting, and he asked for me to come speak to you all, because we typically just come here once a year asking for money, right? So, and you support us in that, and we appreciate it. But this is really great news. So, and the reason he asked me to speak to you about it is that it's something that we are kind of best public health practices, if you will, so that we can share information. In the past, we've been a story from the field, so other health departments across the nation have used what we've done here in our community as an example, good, bad, and different, on how we're improving the health of our community. So I feel like they recognize the work that we've done over the past decade. And it's just $10,000, which isn't a whole lot of money, but to us it is.
It's a lot.
It is, it's a lot. And so we are actually, the goal is disability inclusion. So we do a lot around how to build a healthy community, how to work towards that end. You all know our mission and our vision. And this really gives us a way to try to identify maybe people in our community we haven't really identified with or worked with in the past. And it's those with disabilities, both physical and intellectual disabilities. And so we are going to contract with a subject matter expert because we are not. We're going to have them train our staff, maybe on simple things, right words to use, how to engage with different communities, and how to really work with our partners to make sure they are really engaged in their own health and improving their own health and the health of our community. So we will host 2 community forums. That's one of the reasons I think you asked me here also, is because we'll need your help getting the word out. We're going to ask our citizens how we can do a better job as a community of meeting their needs for those with intellectual and physical disabilities. And then we'll also host another, it's called Local Public Health Performance Assessment Initiative. And it's just basically saying how well we as a community do our job, achieving all those different pieces. You all know health is really just kind of a tapestry of different things all pushed together. How can we do a better job? And it's just that simple. So we've already, just as an example, we've already met with the ARC. They've pulled together, because they saw our model, they've pulled together a group of 30 businesses and also agencies that serve those with intellectual and physical disabilities. We're going to meet with them and host, we're going to, I think, get 3 community forums instead of 2. So we're very excited to be moving forward. Hopefully you'll hear more about this in the media, but we'll need your help getting the word out too, because we're hoping to really get people engaged in this work.
Great, awesome, thank you.
Fantastic.
Probably-
Thank you all.
You're probably aware of Night to Shine that's coming up in a couple of weeks. That might be a good place to connect with.
What is it?
A Night to Shine, it's a,
Tim Tebow's Night to Shine.
Tim Tebow's Night to Shine. It's a prom for intellectually disabled individuals, so the whole community will be there,
That's
so.
great. Okay, good. Thank you.
I can get you the information on that, so it's a good place to connect.
That would be great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you all for your time.
Amy, I'd like to ask you in lieu of questions,
Yes, sir.
and this is just for our public's satisfaction, I guess would be a good word. This virus that's just hit the United States. Tell the folks how you've studied it, what your plans are, if we have a case here, how we're gonna quarantine. You know, our health department's gonna be vital in keeping that from spreading through here. So give them a little taste about what you're ready to do if you need to.
Well, it's a novel virus, so it's a virus that hasn't been seen anywhere before. The CDC is working with the health officials in China to look at that and to learn more about it. What we do at the health department, we have preparedness plans that we have in place, and it really is just a virus, even though it's a new virus, and we're learning new things every day. So we have our preparedness staff who listens to the numerous conference calls. I believe there's 2 today, 2 tomorrow from different agencies. And then they compile all of that information together and send that out as an update daily. We're meeting with our emergency preparedness team today to start looking at putting together a meeting with all of our health community partners, so that as a community that we're prepared if we do have a traveler who comes into our community and may have been in the Wuhan province.
And then additionally to that, we send out health alerts and advisories to our physicians, our medical professionals. This is a constant state of preparedness for us, and we are used to that communication. We also have a local health authority, Dr. Sherba. He sits on our Board of Health also, and so he's been involved in some of the discussion and dialogue, and it's his responsibility ultimately with you mentioned quarantine, and that is something that the health department or the health district and our local health authority does have responsibility for, but it's something we've prepared for. Ebola, Zika, you name it, this is just another kind of iteration, if you will, and we've been doing this since 2002. So,
And we would just, because quarantine's a scary word, And so if we did identify what they're calling a person of interest in our community, we would isolate them. If they weren't ill enough to be in the hospital, you may have heard about the student at Texas A&M, and they were isolated at their home until they got the test results back, which by the way were negative. So they are not positive for the novel virus. So we would probably ask them to isolate it at their house and to ensure that they do that.
I knew that you were on top of it. I wanted our people to know what you do and how hard you work and getting ready for something that could kill us. So, thank you for working really hard and taking care of us.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all being here.
All right. We'll move to consent agenda.
Item 11, we need to change the word authorized to ratify. Ratify, just, they're already signed, I'm authorized above that amount, so. I just put them on the agenda, so we could have record.
Okay. Is that, so you make a motion then to include
Yeah, I
that
would,
change?
I would make a motion to
Thank you.
approve with that modification.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions, anyone in the audience? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Beecham, a second by Commissioner Mahler to approve the consent agenda with the change in item number 11 from authorized to ratify. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Okay, under general business, first item is review and approve the regular bills for payment.
So moved.
Second?
Anyone have a comment or question on any of the bills? Okay, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Item number 2 is a presentation from the Home for Freedom to discuss potential project at Wichita County Cemetery. Commissioner Beecham.
Yeah, I have Ms. Lisa Locanor here, and also Joel Jimenez will be presenting their vision for Home for Freedom in our county cemetery.
Let me ask you all to state your name so the record will pick
I'm
it up.
Lisa Lawson-Orr.
And Joel Jimenez.
Is that Jimenez or Jimenez?
Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Jump into it.
But I brought my recorder too. Joel, if you record this. You got a memory. No, but anyway, you're working on that. You said vision, but during the prayer I heard God, and this is a God-sent thing. A lot of people in this county, as we go along, God tells us what to do to help each other. And I got myself, and you being a veteran judge, and you grandfathers that were in the military, I got into that level of helping veterans. But helping veterans, this community, our great residents that reside in this county, this is what we're going to be aiming to have this vision to come about and come true to help our people from this county and this North Texas. In fact, it's going to help this nation of what you're fixing to see and so forth. And I bring a bunch of my officers here, Commissioner Harvey, Commissioner Beecham, Commissioner Mahler, Judge, the DAV Chapter 41, you have Vietnam Veterans Association, Dick Chrysler. You have Caleb with Indigent Help, your employee. We have gone to her, but we never committed to nothing until we went to Commissioner Beecham, because this is his jurisdiction, y'all's jurisdiction on the county cemetery. I hate the word pauper cemetery, but a long time ago, that's what was called. And Judge, I was going to ask you and maybe the commissioners, how is it true that there are some Civil War veterans buried out there?
I don't
Really?
believe
Okay.
so.
Really?
I don't believe.
Okay.
It may be
From
I'll have
what-
to look.
That would have been prior to the formation of the county.
That's right. Okay, after the formation of the county, World War I sinks in, correct?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until about 1999, 2000, a businessman here, he's here, President Fred Gentry, a businessman got a phone call and said, I think I have a relative out there at this pauper cemetery. So we called it the homeless cemetery, and so forth. So Fred Gentry gets a hold of me, and the year now rose to 2006 when General Devereaux and Elizabeth Devereaux were at Shepherd Air Force Base. And so this vision that you're talking about, it started with General Devereaux and so forth when he sent 150 men and women to clean the cemetery up. That turned into the Glenn Eichmann project. Kayla, Tanya, the county was so intrigued on, let's find some veterans out there. We found 76. Now there's a total of 86. Now that vision became, thanks to you, Judge, for listening in, Commissioner Ray Gonzalez, and Joe Miller, Commissioner Joe Miller. I talked to him about this, but it was just a hidden little project. So when we got with, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Well, they came up, y'all know, they wanted a pavilion out there to beautify that cemetery. And we became now, and if you haven't been there, I want you to visit that because now there's a beautiful pavilion, a beautiful pavilion. And to that started the next project that this lady, and she's got her own story, but she has to tell it in her own words. But she winds up 7 years ago to the main gate of Shepherd Air Force Base and had a vision to make your cemetery, and your cemetery to look like a mini Arlington National Cemetery. However, there's criteria here to be met. Kayla can verify that you have to have so much money or to become homeless. And there's some other criteria. You can't put a cross out there or you can't put something out there. But that's going to be, we're investigating that, and you, the commissioners, the voices of the county, the voices of us, the voices of the veterans, will make it right so we don't get out of line. What I anticipate is when you look at an expressway, y'all look at the expressway next time you go down and look down at that by the National Guard Army in that area, and you'll see that cemetery. What we envision is having one beautiful backside. She's going to tell you the front side here in a minute, and this is where we came, I don't know how many months ago, to talk to your commissioner. That's your jurisdiction, right, Commissioner Bishop?
Yes, sir.
And this is where we want to make Wichita County, just like the other counties that I've been around, you have to conventions, and you've seen these other cities and these other counties, they step up to the plate and they do a beautiful, beautiful monument to be recognized, not only by their county, but nationwide. And this is what we're going to try to promote. And at this time, I hate to put you on the spot, Ms. Lothenor, but Ms. Lisa Lothenor, it's yours.
Okay, this is what we created. Our name of our charity is called Home for Freedom. And what it is we want to take care of our veterans that gave up their homes and their freedom for our home and our freedom, so we can have our homes and our freedoms. And the way we want to start this charity, we would love to have permission to launch at the cemetery on June 13th, which is Flag Day. And we would like to introduce Home for Freedom to our community. And what we want to do is we want to restore and beautify that cemetery. We would like to provide a driveway, which would be a gate, the wrought iron fence. We'd like to have a wrought iron fence. We'd all like to have uniform if we could have the bosses. We know there's rules and regulations. But we would like to just beautify that flag, the flagpoles, monument. We want to give those people dignity. And we would like to restore and beautify that cemetery. That would be our project where we would launch Home for Freedom with permission. And
Without funds not from y'all.
Oh, no,
No
no.
funds from the county yet.
No.
Because everybody wants to know about what's it gonna cost. It's not
no,
about
we
that.
have our own fundraisers. We will take, we're not asking for money, we're just asking for permission to do so. And we, in the meantime, to launch, Jackie Hager is doing our video, which you will see a clip. It's about Home for Freedom. It's how we're going to launch our charity with this documentary, this film, and we're gonna launch it with our website, what would go for commercial. And we will get brochures and everything
for it to be recorded, so, you know, for my men, this is all recorded, so watch what we say. And, hey, Commissioner.
That has never worked before.
You never worried about it.
I know my men and women of past wars and so forth. But anyway, as the directors of the main VA hospitals in the state of Texas, I know, and I think you've met him before, Judge, and have you met Jeff Milligan?
Yes, yes.
And under the HIPAA laws and the medical laws and the burial laws, right, Kayla, you have to watch what we do. But the participant that we will, it's not a contest where the person's gonna get this home. But right now, let me tell you about concentration on the woman veteran. There's a lot of women veterans down here that are homeless, got children, and this is what, when somebody said, we're gonna help veterans, and so forth, but it's about the woman veteran that we're kinda aiming to, because the whole nation is going toward that avenue right now. But it could be it would be a veteran that's determined in the medical system through professional medical people that will inhabit this home. And so this is
It's not going to just be one, we're gonna help, but we're gonna launch it with just one. And, our launch, if we have permission, this is, I do interior designing and stuff,
did
and
you
this
get a
is
copy of all that?
right
Yes.
here.
Maybe.
We would like, at the cemetery, I would like to, build, if we have permission, to build like a door to go all the way across the entryway. And there'll be like seating, and be red, white, and blue. That's what that is. Our community will build a door to walk into a new beginning for us.
And the general public will be
Exactly.
notified. The
Yeah.
general public through our media at a later date, because right now, if this is what's wrong with our country and our nation, sometimes we commit on something, you commit and you don't go through, and then there you go, it fails. Everybody wants to jump on the stuff, and when it fails, people get angry, people get upset, and then I have to call Sheriff Duke. You know, because I don't want it to go that far.
Well, let's share the video. I think the
Okay.
video is very
And then
powerful.
one other thing before we share the video. This video, military man, right here, anybody in the military, please raise your hand. Past military, veteran. A whole bunch of them. You know that you learned in the military that you gotta ambush people to get their attention. And this is a sword, you know, Willie, you were there, raise your hand, he was there, thank you. And this is what we're gonna do. Not ambush you, but we're gonna prepare you for it at a later date.
This is a short tease of the
Yeah.
the entire video. This is a long version.
This is our,
This video is pretty
documentary.
powerful.
Lisa, one thing, you said June 13th Flag Day, June
Yes.
14th is Flag Day, but you're gonna
Yes.
do this on Saturday
Yes,
instead
sir,
of
I
Sunday?
thought Saturday would
Okay,
be better. And we
Yeah.
had a meeting, we had some, that was suggested to us last week.
Okay.
Sundays are the people who go to church. Fine. And I haven't seen it, I don't know what she got up her sleeve.
You're in the military, you know. Sometimes there's war. And in war, there's combat. And when you're in the Army, you do what you're told. I don't know if I'm doing it for my country. I'm too young. I'm doing my job like I was ordered. And that's to annihilate the enemy. That means kill or be killed. And that's the way it was. One day, we decide that we're going to pull out. And that was one of the worst things that bothered me more than anything else, is that we lose 58,000, close to 59,000 men and women, and we leave.
That is a win.
fundraising and our people that we have that's committed to helping us beautify the
And-
cemetery.
Right, and what we're asking the constituency, y'all, and the media and so forth, is this is privately funded right now. I don't know what this is gonna take us, but we will not do anything unless we go to that man first, and then that man, the commissioner, gets with us, and then we won't do nothing out of hand. I've done that before, and it's failed. You know, not completely, but I've done some things, and without permission of somebody, it doesn't work out. And this time, I think this time, for the future of this great nation and the future of this great county, this is gonna be something that's,
Well, we've talked about it for a little over a year now.
Okay.
And I would not have put it on the agenda had I not believed in your vision. So it took a little bit of convincing,
yeah,
but when I sat in a meeting last week and I saw that clip and saw what you're intending to do,
Right.
I brought it to Commissioner's Court for approval for y'all to
permission.
make the
So much.
improvements on our cemetery and to hold that kickoff event.
And we already have people that have said they'll donate the gate and the flagpoles, and they're interested in the monument. And we're gonna landscape, but it's gonna be for drought conditions as well, so the less we have to.
I have some questions.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Who's gonna maintain the grounds?
This is what we're working with our city, and we'll be working with the county. And we've done this before with some, like the flagpole, situation. Questions got answered. Right now, I can't answer you that until I think like it was right after 1945, in the 50s, the American Legion took care of it for 5 years, the VFW for 5 years, the AV for 5 years, and the other organizations for 5 years. So we're gonna propose later on in getting committees together to, we got some donations for sprinkler systems, et cetera, water out there, et cetera, that will come.
Inmate work program. I've asked to do that the last 10 years, and Commissioner Gonzalez, former on the court, he wanted to take care of it with his own road crew people, which is, it was over precinct 1. And I'm telling you, we've got plenty of inmate workers, equipment, cut grass, dig a hole for trees, wherever we need to, we're 100% behind it.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, the water is going to be, we looked into that a long time ago when I was Commissioner in Precinct 1 and
Okay.
met with the local funeral directors, and, they were not supportive of that, and we didn't have near the veterans emphasis we do now.
Yes, sir. But
Yeah.
there was none found at that time, right, Judge?
Well, I don't know as we looked.
No,
It was
there was-
really, it was the idea to make the cemetery look better
Yeah.
for all those that turned there.
I appreciate you, back to echo his, if you're not gonna teach young children what this is about, I don't see none in here. I was gonna get Dr. Kurtz and Dr. Peters and with the school system and have some young children to see what we're gonna do. We're gonna include Boy Scouts, et cetera. It's already included at times, but this is where you teach people, the young people, that
Patriotism.
Exactly.
That's
And
exactly
respect.
right.
Respect.
and respect, and I'm glad those veterans gave they gave their life, and now we can use them. Yes, sir.
That unknown statement at the top of your alls, there are two people offered to give their lives for you, one for your soul and one for your freedom. The soldier gave for freedom. That's powerful if we can get kids to understand that.
Yes, and we want to drive that into these people. And we were speaking when we were first launching with Cumulus Radio, because they're gonna help us with our event that we're gonna blow you guys out of the water when you hear about our event. But prior to that, we were wanting to get the youngest to the eldest involved in this project. And we were talking about pennies for planks and the kids bringing their pennies and stuff, because he said they add up and it makes them a part of project. Plus it would teach them to respect the veteran and what they're sacrificing for their freedoms, and teach them young. We gotta do something, because it's just,
All right.
it's just, I can't go there.
And
but
as we spoke with Commissioner Beecham, when this, and it's gonna happen, when this thing gets to hundreds of millions of dollars, it's gonna go to it's gonna go to some wellness centers here. A lot of people don't even know that the wellness center here that's helping so many veterans, even from our community. And I'm not promoting Harry Patterson, a car deal, but he took over a wellness center that we will feed into them and find these veterans that are so messed up and send them and get them well. This is gonna you know, affect this county. And so other counties and other people in the nation say, why don't we do what Wichita County, why don't we do what the sheriff did? Or why don't we do what the school system did once a month and so forth? So there's a lot of, but we're forming a committee. It's a selected committee. And, you know, of course, you'll oversee. I don't want to put you on the spot, Commissioner Beecham, but
No,
we
first
are.
time.
Never bothered you before.
Okay, but anyway, thank y'all so much. I tell you what, Judge, Mr. Mahler, and Commissioner Harvey, and Commissioner Beecham, I've gave a lot to this county. And y'all repaid me, you county people repaid me for a van that we transport veterans to 1-5 every day. I haven't, it was y'all's decision to do this. Now it's time that we help these, Kayla, in this homeless situation. Somebody said they want to stop the homeless. Well, the homeless is already done. He's already buried. We're there to help him.
What about the new nursing home that I saw on television? Who's gonna take that on?
Commissioner Harvey, that's a question that you have to,
Well, that's Camp Lindsay Group right now.
I don't have any idea.
We're not
No, we're
associated
not no
with them.
part
No.
of
We're not
that.
affiliated.
Later on, I can't answer that question. And I wouldn't answer that question because that DAB and that VFW and that American Legion, that Vietnam Association, we don't want to start an animosity fight here. That's what it's about sometimes. This is not a Navy deal. This is not an Air Force deal. This is not a Marine deal. And I don't want to start that. And that the question, the answer to you, because I know some of these, I don't know anything about it. I just what I read in the paper. Thank you. That's all I can answer. And maybe in private, because it's recorded, I might tell you. Thank you. You put me on the spot, Commissioner.
Oh, well.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, our microphone is always loaded.
I know it's always loaded. Thank y'all so much. Any more
The
questions?
only thing I think of is that when we start doing landscaping and stuff, and Mark only has 5, 6 people and lots of roads to work on.
Understandable.
We would just, to me, the sheriff just answered my question. That if we could relieve precinct 1 from having to take care of the maintenance, mowing the grass, et cetera, at the cemetery, if the sheriff will do that with inmate workers, I think it's a no-brainer.
And also this, Commissioner Harvey, I'm not gonna commit to our wonderful, wonderful Shepherd Air Force Base. I'm not gonna, I had a representative that was gonna come, so that right there, you remember what General Devereaux did, Fred Gentry, remember? He sent that crew out there and then it fizzled out because it was supposed to. Because they've done their job and that was what was asked of them. And now, we will go to, Ms. Lothenor will go to Shepherd Air Force Base and get that.
They've already inquired about it. They're very interested in being a part of this. We've already approached them. I have. But if we are granted permission on June 13th, we want to invite the community. We're gonna blast it on social media and the media, and we want everybody to participate in this. And we want to have, the Buffalo Soldiers will be there, the Patriot Riders, we're gonna invite them to line the driveway as well with the flags and everything, and we're working on a flyover, like I said, the Buffalo Soldiers. We're just gonna do a nice presentation. Larry Lang is gonna sing patriotic music out there. We're gonna put a lot of effort into this launch at the cemetery.
Flyover would be really cool.
Yes, we're really,
That would be
we're so excited, but we just wanted to get the permission to because we don't wanna, we don't wanna get out of line, and we wanna do it.
Okay. Anything else?
I'll make the motion that we proceed with allowing Yellow to first hold the event and then develop the plans to move forward.
Second. Good, well put.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a work in progress.
Yes, sir,
right.
it is.
Well,
I'm
okay.
glad to hear you talk about using drought-friendly things, because a lot of times we see things done, and then you go back 5 years later, and it just didn't work out, and we don't want this to go
No,
in that
no, we're putting
direction.
too much effort into
Once,
this. We
once
want-
it gets there, it needs to be a lasting tribute. I'm glad that you've got that in your preparation.
Yes, sir.
I think it's vitally important.
We are working on that.
Low maintenance and
That's right.
plan for this part of the country,
Yes.
because it gets dry every once in a while.
Okay. No,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry, Judge, I
No,
didn't mean to-
no, the only thing I was gonna say, we don't have it worded to take action on it.
Oh, we don't have it worded?
No.
No,
Okay,
sir.
well, I'll put it back on the agenda
Yeah.
for action.
Yeah, and-
Sorry.
Yeah, we ought to have something, though. This is a lot of help. We just need some documentation, and then the fact you all will be bringing back plans, that will be separately approved.
Yes, sir.
Exactly,
Good.
and then, I mean, I just wanted to show you.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just-
No,
it's
no,
not
this is
quite there.
fantastic. That is, you know, but
Thank you
we
very
gotta,
much.
as Joelle said, we got a marching order.
Yeah.
We're not gonna route step to get there.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all very much.
Then the last thing is you started this in prayer, and with this project, I'd like to end it in prayer with your permission.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
All right, okay? Just for this project, because I think, okay.
Father, as we look at moving forward with this, Father God, we know that your hand is upon it, Father God, for there are many of our fallen comrades, Father God, that have fallen, and now, Father God, we want to recognize them, Father God, for their combat duty that they did perform, Father God, as you put it in our hearts, Father God, to continue to remember them, Father God. And you do that in many ways, Father God, by putting it in hearts of young men and women, Father God, to erect something up, a monument for them, Father God. As we look forward to doing this, Father God, you have already provided all the funds, you have already provided all those, Father God, donors that will do, Father God. Now we're here, Father God, asking permission to move forward, Father God. And I ask that you touch the commissioners' hearts, Father God, to get on board, just like the inmates will do, Father God, and the military men will do, Father God, and the community will do. And we thank you for this, Father God, and we thank you for that you're going to provide everything that we have need of, Father God. And we pray for all of the military men that are in duty right now, active duty, Father God, all the veterans. And we thank you, Father God, that you put everything in the hearts of those who have need of it. Lord, we love you and we praise your holy name. In Jesus' mighty name we ask this. Amen. Amen.
All righty, thank you all very much. Item number 3 is discuss, consider, take action to approve a bid from Terry's Upholstery for 36 chair cushions for the 30th District Court at a cost of $100 each, for a total cost of $3,600 to be paid by transfer from general fund contingencies to appropriate lines determined by the county auditor. Commissioner Beecham, I thought, is this yours?
More or less, yeah. I've been working with 30th District on this. I looked at several options. This seems to be a very good option at $100 each. I had some other quotes that were much higher than that. We could get ready-made cushions much cheaper, but I think the quality of these will last us a lot longer, so it would be my motion to go ahead and approve that.
Okay.
Second.
Any comments, anyone in the audience? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried 4-0. Item 4 is discuss, consider, take, and take action on approving a work zone construction site safety presented by University of Texas Local Technical Assistance Program at no cost to Wichita County. Who had that? I'm sorry.
It's Amanda's.
Yours?
Amanda?
I just put a little bit of a
description, and I did talk to the lady last week. The biggest thing to decide is a training for the road and bridge crew. It's no cost at all. The only thing she really needs us to decide is obviously if y'all want to go ahead and go with it, it would be, it's about a day and a half worth of time. She's gave us a couple of different options as far as times of day to do it, and I already talked to Dawn, just to make sure there wasn't anything going on with the precinct board at that time, at least not any elections or anything else that would conflict with it. But it's a free training, it's OSHA compliant, so it's basically more than what we need, but it would be a good training for all of them. Just getting with Dawn on things like that we haven't done a lot of the training like they were doing, whether we were doing it monthly or doing it quarterly. So since this came up and it was available to us, it's just presented for y'all to look over the description and see what you'd like to do.
Our building maintenance staff would be able to attend as well.
Yeah, I think the lady said up to 25 people that they do this time usually.
While this gives exposure, it wasn't necessary to bring it before Commissioners Court. We've done work zone safety, flag training, and all of that. I mean, if there's no expenditure other than the time to attend.
The main reason I want to make sure it was okay is because it's a day and a half worth of training. It's not like an hour class that they'd be taking that, takes away from work, which we understand. But it's something that also is educational for their job duties.
Well, in this time of year, we could get lucky enough to get it on a 2-day rain and,
Right.
they
On
could,
those particular days,
yeah.
yes.
Okay. But, okay.
So we don't need a motion?
No, we don't need, no action needed. Yeah, that's, since there's no physical funds being,
Is there a preference for commissioners whether they do it start at 7 a.m. or start at 2 p.m.? Just whatever works out with the format.
okay, thank you. Item 5, discuss, consider, take action to amend the LGS contract agreement. Let me just kind of fill you all in on this. We had tried to work out to where we would have one terminal, realized that because of Ms. Flores' needs and the county clerk's needs and some others, one terminal wasn't going to be enough. And Mr. Hazeldine from LGS has given us a good price on that. When I went back to him and asked him if we could have 10 of those, they said yes. They still came back with a slightly increased price, but he was trying to say that the only way he's going to change this if we will pay him $114,000 for an item that was not satisfactorily produced, or at least in our estimation. And a long time ago, I visited with him about that. I've sent him an email, but we're going to have to go back through this and negotiate. Meanwhile, the court needs to continue to pay the $38,000 reduced amount that we're paying until I can try to get something worked out, because I don't know how many months we'll be on this. But I didn't feel like it was advantageous to us to pay that back when the office that particular software supported didn't think it was being done satisfactorily. So I just need action to allow to continue the current negotiations. And I really don't even need that. You all just are aware of that. I will get that and bring it back to the court. Hopefully we can get that resolved in the next couple of weeks. Okay.
Motion to that effect?
No, I don't think so. It's just I'm not going to go ahead. That other court order that we had to change that, the proposal on this, we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it as we have it now, so that the officers will have the access to the LGS information. Okay, item 6, is discuss, consider, take action to approve the S&S trailer sales estimate number 1329 for 2020 bumper pull equipment trailer for Precinct 1 at a cost of $4,995 to be paid from Department 221 supplies and operational major category. Was a specific line determined by the county auditor? Commissioner Beecham?
We need to change that 221 to supplies and operations to capital improvement.
I wondered about that.
Yeah. In the same way with item 7. Yeah, this is a trailer to both pull item number 7 and a skid steer and other equipment.
Okay,
They go together.
okay.
It's budgeted expense, it's not.
It is a budgeted
Yeah.
expense.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Item 7 is discuss, consider, take action to approve ASCO equipment proposal dated January 17th, 2020 for a 2018 case D45 double drum roller for precinct 1 at a cost of $34,400 to be paid from Department 221, $5,000, and
Yeah, that
which is
also would
capital,
be
yeah.
capital improvements.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we did a lot of research looking for a roller, brand new ones in this category range in price from $52,000 all the way up to $60,000. This is essentially a year-old machine. It hasn't even had its first oil change. It's, for all practical purposes, a brand new machine, just 156 hours on it for 40% of the price, 40% off, so I think it's a best value for the county to go this route and buy the used one as opposed to a brand new one.
The only thing I don't like about it is I didn't find it first.
But you can
So
borrow
is it the kind that you
So I'll be
can
needing to borrow
have
it.
slick roller
since
and the sheep's foot on it?
Just a steel wheel.
Just stay away.
We've got sheets. Our steel wheel roller breaks down every time we take it out on site. We spend,
Too much time messing with it.
You're going to sell it, and
yeah, we'll sell that.
all right. Is there a second to
I'll
the motion?
second that.
Thank you.
That's tremendous buy.
Yeah, it is.
How long a warranty are they giving you on it?
It comes with the remainder of the factory. And
Remainder of the factory warranty. Okay. All right. Any comments, questions, anyone in the audience? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Okay, item number 8, I'm going to remove. Mr. Hampton called me. His sister-in-law died very unexpectedly. He is attending her funeral, and he will make that report next week. Okay, receive an update on number 9 on the Law Enforcement Center and Amoresco projects.
Start with Amoresco. Asked Jerry to come. This is Jerry's last week with us as they are wrapped up. And I want to say from my perspective, it's been both pleasure and honor to work with you on this. Jerry's been an extension of the county family since he's been here. And very attentive to every need. Anytime I've had a question, problem, concern, Jerry's been Johnny on the spot to get it taken care of immediately. I'd love to keep him around. I wish there was some way we could just bring you over and put you on staff because you've been a pleasure to work with. But I've asked Jerry to kind of give us a brief on exactly where we're at on the project and things that have happened, so.
Yes, sir. What'd you do, kick one of those chillers to get it going again?
I got it started.
Oh, I didn't even see that. What happened?
Achilles tendon.
I've been there, done that.
Yeah, so I gotta go the route. I'll find out the end of February if I have to have surgery or not, so.
I know a good surgeon.
Yeah. So, we did quite a few energy conservation measures, which I'll abbreviate ECMs, and I'm gonna go a quick synopsis from 1 all the way to the end. Is that okay? Or do you want me to just finish up with what we did lately?
Just what we've done lately. We've
Okay.
already covered the others.
So, the last 2 ECMs that we've worked on was the air balance, which was ECM 11. We went through all 19 fan coils, all the air handlers, which had fresh air intake that brought air in from the outside, and had to tune everything to the ASHRAE standard of roughly around 20% of fresh air per hour. So we've gotten that completed about a week and a half ago, and ran into some issues, ducking and all, but we've gotten everything pretty well, for the age of the building. I think we're close to standards. So showed us some deficiencies, but everything's been fixed, and we're right on course on the air balance side. The other one is the ECM for the building automation, which is ECM 3. And that one was the first one we started, and it's the last one we're finishing up with. So the new Honeywell controllers does not like the old wiring that was in the courthouse. So we had to rewire close to almost 350 devices throughout the whole building. That was water valves, actuators, dampers, sensors, thermostats, everything has gotten new wire ran to it. So we've had some problems in a couple of areas, as Lorianne understands. We lost the controller to that air handler 10 on the second floor. And then, not this weekend, but the weekend before, the building got hit with single phase voltage. So the variable frequency drives will protect themselves. And the frequency drives, I think I've got roughly about 12 installed. One of them didn't protect itself, but it's under warranty. We bypassed the frequency drive and got the motor running direct, and we should have that replaced by Wednesday this week. This morning, we had a couple issues with freestats. The air outside's cold enough when it comes into the building, dampers wide open and not modulating like they should, it'll shut everything down so we don't blow a coil. So making some adjustments. So you gotta figure in the building automation, I think I had the first week of trouble, maybe 9 issues, and this week I think we're down to 5. But I don't see it not stopping for a short while. Give me a month or so and we'll be able to have all the bugs out of that. And we have full capability of dialing in remotely. So both myself and my foreman Jim with CEC are able to dial in and assist the facility on tweaking some of the programming also.
Great. And we'll still be able to get y'all remotely after you're gone.
Yes, yeah, so.
Okay, because that was my next question. I visited with Bob Yo this morning, and they're still not 100% comfortable with automation.
Yes.
So if we could get them additional training and help before we're out of here.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. I've got Jim on site still this week, and we'll get that done.
Okay.
If the county has a DVD recorder or something, I guess maybe I can check with IT or HR, see if there's something that we can record that with, that we can fall back on.
Okay.
And then I will get a hold of Barry on the Hearst boiler. The Lochinvars are black and white. I'm not too worried about the Lochinvars, and we've not had one issue with them.
Yeah.
And so the next thing is I finally got approval from state regulations and licensing for the Hearst boiler.
Okay.
Just last Thursday. This has been a nightmare. I've never been put through the ringer like Texas Organization of Licensing and Regulation. And the Lochinvar I should have pushed through today.
Great.
So those will be temporary permits till the inspector shows up.
Okay.
So, but additional training, we'll get
Yeah,
that taken care of
please.
for you.
And the punch list items that I forwarded to you last
Working
week.
on them as we speak. So,
Will you be back here when the final inspection is done? Is that a practice that you all are here in case they have any?
oh, on the boilers?
Yes.
That one, if I know in advance, I could be here. If
I just wonder what the customary thing was, you know.
Yeah, the state regulations typically, they'll they don't give you much of a heads up since I'm flying in. And everything down to the CO sensors, I'm confident. We have gone through this with fine-tooth comb twice now.
Okay.
On the startup, and the factory rep has been here, so they've approved everything, and the state inspector will be very happy with what he sees here. So, but if we get a heads up, I'll be here. I would like to be here and see that accomplished. So,
Okay.
anything else? I've got a couple lighting punch lists I'll get done this week, nothing major. But any questions?
No, sir.
All right.
Thank
Thanks a
you
lot.
so much again.
Yeah.
It's,
I've loved it. I love the town. I love the county, and all the county employees have been just a real blessing to work with.
and Curtis, if you will, the number that we talked about Friday,
Corey, you've been the greatest.
is that 42,000, do I remember that number right?
What's that?
42,000 is what we saved on electrical last year, but taking into account the majority of the work didn't start until midsummer or late summer. I think we're right on target for that $100,000+ savings, so.
That's awesome.
It is
So,
awesome.
yeah, it's right, it looks like it's right where we want to be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And jail project, it's continuing on. Lots of progress in a lot of areas. They're hitting on all cylinders. Of course, we had some shutdown for bad weather last week, but it's not shutting down the interior of the project for sure. They've got a lot of the roof on, a lot of umbrella over the building, so even though we're having some bad weather days and not able to pour concrete outside and stuff, we're still going 90 to nothing on the inside.
We got a new job superintendent.
Yes, we do, and I'm sorry I did.
Steve, yeah,
Yeah, Parker.
Parker, there we
Steve
go.
Parker, yes,
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say Jackson.
Texas Tech engineer.
yeah,
Oh, Lord.
yeah.
Well, he went to an accredited school.
Can we get a Texas A&M engineer?
That whole
Best
project
engineer
staff
in the
with
world.
Texas Tech people, so.
Oh, my gosh.
They're like a cult, you know, just like
Yeah, tortillas, like over there.
Okay. Anything else, Commissioner?
No, sir.
All right. Anyone in the audience have anything to comment on? Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say with election coming up, not that we've ever had a problem, just to remind, please, no electioneering in the building. Please, just let's not make a habit of it. That way we don't have a problem when early voting starts. And just a reminder, I know Jeff isn't here. I don't know what'll happen there, but we'll figure out and send to the foremans for the March 3rd delivery of the machines. Get that done.
Who delivers the machines for the early voting? You by yourself?
Don?
Why don't Don do it?
Don works during the day when I have them. He helps me pick them up at night. I pick up in Lecter and Owl Park, and then he helps me with Home Depot in the morning, because he doesn't want me doing that by myself that late.
Right. Well, we can help put them out too.
Well, early voting's fine.
Leave well enough alone.
Okay.
Okay?
If she needs help, we
You
will
can
help.
get election day for me. I mean, this year is going to be a little harder due to the fact that I am one person down in the elections. And usually Penny goes with me. It may be me this time, delivering early by myself, which is fine. I can handle it. But Don's always been real good about bringing them back in, or back in for me. So,
Those on, the delivery on those would be on Monday before the primary,
yes,
and the primary is March 3rd.
March 3rd. And this year, early voting starts February the 18th instead, on a Tuesday instead of Monday, since Monday is on
March 3rd is not far off, is it?
March, it is not. It will
And
be here
it
before
goes February 18th through the Friday before the primary?
the 28th, February 18th through the 28th.
Okay.
We have a couple of new locations, election
Right. We lost the one at Ray Road,
Yeah.
Service Parkway, yeah, which was
But they have the bridge, which is just like.
another
right there
block
on Gaylord
over.
Drive, Right there, and then, New Hope, we have the forum,
Okay, good.
The forum,
the forum.
Right across the street.
And
So, and we did keep Western Hills.
Yes,
Okay.
Western Hills has gotten back on board.
Okay,
uh,
one more
with
time.
us. Yes. And we do have 3 of the churches that have daycares. I've sent the sheriff a list of those that we need to provide deputies for. They appreciate that, or otherwise we would lose those 3. And I understand that. I mean, it would be just like the schools.
Does that include the bridge?
That's the bridge,
Okay.
Legacy, and Methodist Church up here. I never remember.
United.
First United downtown.
Yes.
Yep. Great.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, anyone else? Okay, Commissioner Beecham,
No, I had nothing to do.
Commissioner Harvey.
Lee, you're up.
I know. I took the 4-minute drill this morning, that's just about to kill me.
Rough weekend.
Well, my nose, I can't get it to stop running. But we'd like to talk about the great pancake festival that the Kiwanis Club just put on.
Yes, sir.
How many people do you know?
I don't know the final number, but we were at like 4 o'clock, we had, no, earlier than that, we had 8,500 or something for,
8,500?
it'll run close to between 9,000 and 10,000 before it's over with. Plus volunteers and all that, you know, eat. But it is our major fundraiser effort, the big thing that goes out of it. People were asking me the other day, what does that money go for? And we support a program at Christmas for 4 of the economically disadvantaged grade schools. And we have a host of about 10 Santa Clauses that go there on the last day of school. And for every child in there, when they come see Santa, they get a sweatshirt that's been sized for them with the school's colors and name on it. They get a book. They get the hygiene kits they absolutely love. I keep wondering when we give those kids hygiene kits, but at any rate, that's part of the plan. And they all get a candy cane and a visit. The neat thing for Kiwanis, all 4 of those schools had at least 10 staff members, faculty, all came and volunteered, helped serve sausage and things. I mean, it was just, it's tremendous. But that program, to do that with those kids, produced, it takes about $25,000 to $30,000 to do it. And so.
Well, if everybody got their ticket early, which we know they didn't, if everybody paid $7, which we know they didn't, would have made about $63,000 at 9,000 people.
Yeah, and they were, but the tickets were $9.
At the door.
No, $9, $10 at the door.
Oh, let
Yeah.
me fix that.
Yeah, you were taking your.
9, okay, that's 81,000.
Yep.
Now, all of that money goes right back into our community.
Yeah.
So, that's a home run.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good things that get done with that kind of money.
Well, I call it the world's biggest family reunion.
I might have to agree.
Yeah,
I
it's,
just want to beat, was it Lubbock that beat us out?
oh, like a drum.
Really?
Mhm.
I thought they just barely beat us out.
No.
No, they smoked us.
Well, they got a larger club, they got a much larger venue, but the one I want to go see, I was picking up some repair parts at Tractor Supply, and the lady said, "Were you cooking pancakes this year?" "Yes, ma'am, I am." She said, "You need to go to Laramie, Wyoming for Frontier Days." Now, I got to see this. They mix their batter in a ready-mix truck, is what she told me.
No way.
I'm thinking, you know, that's a lot of batter. But they serve free pancake breakfast Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of that week. But I think you might see it being mixed in one of those small, you know, mixers that's on little 2 wheels, but
Yeah, like
But-
when we have at home, you do fence post with.
Yeah, but according to her, it's a ready-mix truck. I looked it all up, I couldn't find other than the dates they serve pancakes, but,
Mercy. That's
A lot of matter.
yeah, that would be. I'll
Let's
run.
call Art Lidikin and get him on the phone.
Well, my wife, the home ec major, maybe said, how do you get that truck clean enough to do that? I
must
said,
have a very liberal, health department.
well, it is Wyoming, so.
They may not have.
They don't have.
May not even have a health department. So, anyway, but it was a great event, a lot of fun. The ending was a little rough on me, but we got through it. Had a pipe fall, a metal bar fall, hit me in the top of the head, and spent 4 hours in the emergency room. Luckily, it hit the flat side, not the pointed side.
Yeah.
So, but.
Well, if you're gonna
Hit the one part of his body where it couldn't hurt anything.
Hit an elected official, hit him in the head, that's the hardest
Yeah,
part.
well, and that was that's what a couple of people came back. My wife, bless her heart, posted some stuff on Facebook, and somebody came back and said, well, if it hit him in the head, it wasn't gonna hurt much. So, at any rate,
Knocked you out, didn't it?
it made me stagger. All right, anything else, sir? Okay, Commissioner Waller.
No, just tickled to death to have the rain across the region. Looks like a little chance for some more tomorrow, and that has certainly calmed down our fire danger, which was getting, we were pretty close to being in trouble. So that's good news, and maybe that'll continue on into the spring. So the volunteer firemen and our professional firefighters too, they don't need the training. They already know how to get one out, so we don't need that. So that's quite a relief. Anyway, that's it.
I didn't back up, I
Yes, sir.
forgot something.
All right.
The Texas Forestry Service, oh man, it's a whole bunch of the city of Wichita Falls, city of Burke Burnett, Forestry Service, this last week, they have put on their firefighting school. And I'm telling you, this is the largest school in the state. It is so large, they overtook the state by 100 people or better. The state just said, we're going here. So it's great to have all those folks from all over, not just the state, but surrounding states, coming to Burke Burnett, like the Black Sox. They have the dormitories for the Black Sox for the boys. When the boys aren't there, they're full of firemen right now. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, there are, we went to La Familia at lunch, and there was nothing but white pickups there, and no other place to park. You know, they're really doing good for our community. So, wanted to call those guys out and just tell them thanks for coming here. Cause that's a bunch of people, that's over 300.
Where they do the training?
Camp Perkins, they do, they're training in 4 different places, is what John Reese told me. At the Forestry Service facility on 369, at Perkins, at the Burke Burnett Volunteer Fire Department, at the Burke Burnett Fire Department, they have a big training room in there. And, one more, help me. I said Perkins, Black Sox facility, they're having a school there too. So it's big enough that they're having to have it 4 different, they split up the specific training for different things.
Can I add something, Judge?
Yes, sir.
To go with that training, it is 20 years ago, we were fighting fires on the front of trucks, big brush trucks, big military trucks, tearing trucks up, firefighters getting injured and killed. And it's a different way of tactics of fighting in this new wildland firefighting. It's been there all the time, it's getting more prevalent to save the equipment, save the personnel, safety, as well as citizens. You know, how to be able to keep the fire back, do a lot more back burning. The tactics have changed quite a bit since it did 25, 30 years ago when I first started. Our back burning abilities back in those days, 30 years ago, was using the Roman candles. We'd have stock of it back in the old brush truck, and we'd use those to shoot to start the back burner. That way we put the fire out before it got back to the road, then burn it to the fire. That was the old school way of doing it. We used road flares. And nowadays it's a whole lot different tactic fighting fire. You're not tearing up the equipment. Every fire department in this county, everybody had to know how to weld, because you had put the truck back together many times. Come back to the station, you tear off the battery boxes, the gas tank, fuel tank, the roll bars, every lights, everything you tore off, windshields knocked out. So it was a total different way of firefighting. My department was taught West, we had one of our firefighters killed on Old State Road. He was on the
Yep.
front, he was rear-ended, vehicle got rear-ended by a guy driving through the smoke, about 60 miles an hour, he back in that 5-ton, knocked the guy off the front. And it's a bad situation, so there's only maybe one department that still uses on the front of the fire trucks now. We're still carrying, so it's getting better.
Yep. Yep. Good deal.
The cement truck,
Oh,
pancakes.
really? Okay, Nancy just
No, let me
found.
see. Really? Well, we gotta have these.
And then if you swipe.
She just found a picture of the cement truck, or concrete next to it.
Oh. There's a little pipe in here.
Look at that.
Yeah, no, I didn't think anybody got a picture of that.
But it does look like a brand-new truck.
Well,
They are mixing batteries in this stinking thing.
yeah, okay.
I think the trick may be you don't want the first load of concrete after they mix pancake batter in it, just in case.
Concrete might taste good.
Right.
No,
Probably doggone. There it is.
yeah. All righty. Couple things, gentlemen, I need decisions out of y'all on the Lincoln Reagan dinner, whether you're gonna go or not.
I'm not going.
I knew you weren't, but I don't know about anybody else, and
I said I would.
today is money day. We need to get that in. And then, there's gonna be a roast for Judge Sons. The benefit is gonna be the, ARC and, CASA, which are two things she has devoted a whole lot of time for. And, I've been asked to be one of the roasters, and, I'm looking forward to that. But I need to know if,
When is it? I'm not got it on.
yeah, I was gonna say, but take a look at it, let me know, because I need to tell them I'm gonna fill a table or not fill a table. And, do that. The,
Judge, you don't just need word, you need a check.
yeah, yeah. Then I will be in Austin on Friday, representing the county for a mediation hearing we're having down there. Anything else? Oh, Neo, excuse me, I had it here and I nearly walked away from it. There we go.
Judge. Commissioner Ward just want me to give you guys an update on Buffalo Creek. Since we talked last time, West Bank was being work in progress. As of right now, that's been cleared up, so the whole West Bank from 367 to the Bell Road has been cleared. We moved to the east side. Very high productivity. We're having a great collaboration between Precinct 4 team, our contractors, and guys from the Faith Mission. They're doing an amazing job. And as we're speaking right now, east side is getting worked on. We are really anticipating a huge progress today in terms of that. So that was just a quick update.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. You know, if y'all cleaned up the West Bank, if you'll move to the Middle East and clean up the West Bank problem there, you will really have done something.
Big undertaking.
All right. Okay, very good. It is 11:16 and we are adjourned.